Major protests are set to occur in many cities across this nation this weekend coming up. Many are touting that this is a grassroots organized event, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Furthermore, as we know, whenever the left protests, they often turn into something resembling more of a riot. So we're going to look at an article real quick, kind of a preparation going into this weekend, if you will, from USA Today. It says, No King's Day protest planned for June 14th with aim to reclaim the American flag. Okay, here they're saying they want to reclaim the American flag. Now, I don't know how many of the protest videos or pictures that you have seen recently, but there seems to be an excessive lack of the American flag. Unless they're burning it, of course. But that's neither here nor there, I guess, because they're reclaiming it. They are reclaiming it. All right, back to the article. So as it continues, the 1,800 or 1,800 No Kings protests across the country are meant to express frustration over President Trump's action that organizers say are authoritarian. Aren't all these protests against Trump and his actions? It's just so many, but we'll get into that in a second as well. As the article continues, protests are planned for 1,800 communities across the country June 14th, the same day President Donald Trump holds a military parade in Washington. For decades, the GOP has claimed most of the symbols of patriotism, including the American flag, but the people protesting Trump, a Republican, say they are the true patriots now. Sorry, don't mean to laugh, kind of do. We don't want to see the narrative ground to Trump and MAGA that they own the flag. They own patriotism, said Indivisible, keep that in mind, Indivisible, keep that name in mind, Indivisible co-founder Ezra Levin, one of the organizers. In fact, the most patriotic thing you can do in America is to show up peacefully and petition your government for something better. Kind of like they did on January 6th, I guess, is what they're saying there. Don't know. The rallies named No King's Day to oppose what they see as Trump's power grab are expected to be the largest and most numerous protest since Trump's second term began, dwarfing the hands-off protest in early April that drew as many as 1 million Americans to the streets at more than 1,000 rallies. We're actually going to talk about that in a moment as well. Levin said putting American flags and American imagery front and center is very intentional because the protesters believe Trump's actions, from attacking universities and political institutions to holding a military parade, are un-American. 250 years ago, the Continental Army was formed to fight back against a king, and there is an opportunity right now for Americans to come out and say, no, wait, this isn't what America stands for. We didn't sign up for this guy to concentrate power in his own hands, to come after the pillars of political democracy. No King's Day was organized by grassroots groups in cities and towns of all sizes and to coincide with the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary celebration, which is also Trump's 79th birthday and Flag Day. Administration officials insist it is a coincidence that the parade falls on Trump's birthday. I want to break down that last paragraph right there for two specific lies or misinformation, if you will. From the jump, Trump's opposition has been painting this as a birthday celebration for him. The whole time they've been talking about this as a birthday celebration for a tyrant or a Hitler-esque kind of figure or something like that, a war hawk kind of guy. Actually, if you do a quick Google search or a little bit of digging, you'll actually see that the beginnings of the plans for this event, the whole thing was kicked off in 2024, early 2024, mind you, well before Trump was ever even elected. Hell, at that time, we didn't even know who the Democrat candidate was going to be. Neither did they. The second thing I want to point out is the claim that this was organized by grassroots events. So I told you to kind of remember a couple things or we'd come back to them. Here we are. The article quotes a co-founder of Indivisible, right, which is not a grassroots organization. They are in ties with a group called 50501, which is behind a significant number of grassroots protests, including the one back in April they mentioned, the hands-off one. They do have an official website. right here. And I will leave this obviously in the show notes below, so you can go check it out. All links are going to be in the show notes below. But they do have a website right here. There you can find all kinds of information. Got the June 14th No Kings. You can learn more, find events, do all kinds of stuff, probably donate to them and whatnot. But in this, you can also find a partner list. Now, what is the partner list? I'm going to throw it up on the screen so you can kind of glance through it and see it. It's a little too much to put on the screen full mode and all that. You can go check it out. I'm going to leave a link to it because that link is not actually like the easiest to find on the site. So I'm going to leave a link to that so you can check out all the different sponsors, partners, backings, whatever, to show you the people involved in that. One of the first ones that caught my attention right in my face was Bernie. Bernie Sanders is clearly a supporter of this. So don't know exactly how you can call that a grassroots event when you have all that. But another page that they have on here that I do want to point out is the map of all the events that are going to be taking place this Saturday. You can go to it as an interactive map. You can click on it. It'll tell you where and when it's happening. It'll give you all the information on there, which is good to know because it'll tell you kind of the areas to avoid and when to avoid them if you're wanting to avoid them. More on that in a moment. But as a side note too, you can go to Facebook or maybe other social media sites and search for 50501 and the name of your city or area or just your state. And you can probably find groups or posts that talk about all kinds of different protests, marches, or whatever, because they are behind so many of these. So if you're ever curious of something that may or may not be going on in your area or the links to it, to these organizations or groups or whatnot, if you do the 50501 search, you'll see the connections. You'll start seeing it. It'll make sense. So get the whole grassroots from the, in the individual cities popping up kind of thing. It's not true. It is totally not true. It's a fabrication of lies. We also know that these organizations that are behind it also have powerful people behind them. And those can range from anywhere from the Gates to the Soroses, etc. Right? Look, while I 100% agree that they have the right to protest, okay, I acknowledge that right, and I respect that right, totally. I'm also going to use my First Amendment right to free speech and criticize them. I think all of this is just stupid. I think they're idiots. They are protesting more than anything law and order. They're out here trying to deport illegal immigrants, and they have a problem with it. It seems like the left is just allergic to responsibilities, be it getting a job and not depending on the government for your finances and well-being, or actually obeying the law and not robbing a store, shooting and killing someone, coming into a country illegally, whatever it may be. It seems like they have an allergy to responsibility. So I'm with you guys on protesting. You're cool with me as far as that goes. Peaceful, do it. That's awesome. The second that you start standing in the roads and blocking traffic, then you start losing all respect for me. That, the rioting, the looting, and all that stuff, like, none of that has to happen. The getting in the roads is still the peaceful protest part of it, and I hear you. But at that moment in time, you're not where you're supposed to be, and you're creating a lot of potentials for issues. Yeah, I'm actually reminded of a news clip that I saw. I think it was like 5 years ago. They were blocking the roads. Can't remember which group it was at the moment. But the news reporter was there reporting live on the scene, and they captured this. I'll throw it up real quick.
Hi, Kim. Yeah, we're on 244. As you can see, this is the eastbound lane, completely blocked off with hundreds of demonstrators. The chants have been primarily. Oh, here we go. How are you doing, and what are you thinking about what's happening?
I'm glad I did a lot more research. Oh God!
This way, Drake. Okay. All right. Hold on. All right, some cars are coming through the crowd right now. It's all right. It's okay. It's a large trailer has gone through. He just went through the crowd. Now the troopers, people are shouting to get him. He's pulling over to the troopers. He's stopping where the highway patrol is. Now people... Okay, people are running. People are running towards the trailer. Hold on, let's see if anybody is hurt.
Yeah, there's another car coming.
All right, so that trailer...
Another car.
Is there another vehicle?
Another vehicle. Let's find a way out.
Hold on. It's all right. Okay, there's another car trying to make its way through the crowd now.
This is exactly what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about.
Okay, so now people are very, very upset now. People are very upset that the trailer has not been stopped. People are expressing that frustration.
Gee, I wonder how they're going to express their frustration. Probably more protest, maybe some rioting and looting. Or maybe if there's a car that approaches the line, they're going to attack the driver, attack the passengers. I've seen where they attacked horses that were in the trailer in the back for someone. I don't know what this guy had in his trailer. But yeah, they tend to do stuff like that. I've seen videos where they pulled a truck driver out and beat him to death for trying to drive around or through the group or what have you. They're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Don't stand in the road while traffic's coming through. They taught us this when we were children, I do believe. Now, I'm not saying to go out there and intentionally hit people because that's absolutely wrong. However, I also don't believe that it's safe to come to a complete stop and put yourself in a position to be harmed.
Oh my God. I knew that guy was going to do that.
Is that guy?
It was the same guy. Guarantee it.
Again, not condoning this behavior. But that's that, guys. I highly encourage you to check out the links in the show notes below so you can see where and when the protests are going to be held. And I would love to know your thoughts on what's been happening. Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good fun stuff. And folks, we will see you on the next one.